My phone buzzed. It was late, and I was curled up on the couch with a throw blanket, the TV droning in the background. The screen lit up with a name that instantly made my stomach clench. Uncle Mike. Weird. He's not the texting type. Calls sure on holidays, birthdays, but not random messages. And definitely not ones that say, "You need to see this." "I'm sorry, Rachel." That was all. No context. No emojis. Just a blunt apology that made my heart skip. I tapped the video, hands trembling, and there she was. Chloe, my little sister, 25, smug as ever. She was lounging in a lawn chair in Mom and Dad's backyard, same crooked oak tree in the background, same old faded patio table. Drink in hand, ice clinking, sunglasses perched on her head like she was the queen of suburbia. She laughed big, loud, careless. "Come on," she said, voice sharp and theatrical, the kind of tone she used when she wanted an audience. "Rachel's too dumb to ever kick me out. She just lets me stay there rent, free like a total idiot." Laughter exploded in the background. Tyler's obnoxious hyena cackle. Brittany's high-pitched giggle. Even my dad let out one of his low chuckles. My chest tightened. I hit replay. She rolled her eyes, over the top dramatic like she was starring in a reality show. "She really thinks I'm struggling," Chloe said with a snort. "Poor little me, can't afford my own place. Please. I make way more than she even knows. But why waste my money when my idiot sisters got me covered?" More laughter. More fake sympathy. And I just sat there, frozen, knuckles white around my phone. 3 years. 3. Damn. Years. She'd been living in my house since October 2022. Said she needed help. Tearful phone call. Said she was heartbroken, had lost her lease, had nowhere to go. I remembered that night too well, her voice cracking over the line, sobbing. "I just need a little time, Ratch. I'll get back on my feet soon." And like a fool I believed her. I opened my home. Gave her the guest room. No rent. No bills. Just warmth, safety, family. And now she was out here laughing. Mocking me behind my back. I hit replay again. Her words sliced deeper each time. Too dumb to ever kick me out. My idiot sister. Why waste my money? The air in the room changed. Heavier. Thicker. I was wide awake now. That grin. That smug, lazy grin. Like she'd won something. I hit replay a third time. Then a fourth. She leaned back, drink sloshing as she laughed harder. I make way more than she even knows. Why waste it when I can just keep mooching off her? Laughter again. Louder. Meaner. And then I heard it. My dad's chuckle again. That one hurt the most. She'd been lying to me. Playing me. 3 years. I stared at the screen, breathing hard. She moved in with bags and red eyes. Said she just needed space. Time to heal. I'd made her coffee every morning. Cooked her dinner on nights she cried. She hijacked my Netflix, drained my oat milk. Left dishes in the sink. I let it slide. Every time. Because I loved her. Because I thought I was being a good sister. Now, I couldn't even tell what hurt more. Her betrayal or the fact that everyone laughed along with her. Uncle Mike buzzed again. I wasn't sure if I should send that, but you needed to know. My fingers hovered above the screen. The old me, the one who always gave Chloe the benefit of the doubt, wanted to text her. Ask her what the hell that was. Maybe she was drunk? Maybe she didn't mean it? But knew me? The one staring at that smug video on repeat? She was done. I typed back. "Thank you. Don't say anything to her. I'll handle it." I hit send. The screen went dark. I leaned back, the couch creaking beneath me, and just stared at the ceiling. She'd been pretending to be broke. Milking me. She was out there probably partying on my dime. Laughing about how I was too dumb to see it. But I wasn't dumb. Not anymore. She had no idea what was coming. And for the first time in a long time, I felt something that surprised even me. Almost relief. Morning sunlight filtered through the blinds as I stood in the kitchen, pouring coffee like it was any other day. But it wasn't. Not for me. Inside I was a live wire. Calm on the outside, cold and steady on the inside. I didn't sleep a wink last night. Just lay there, eyes wide open, watching the ceiling spin as Chloe's words echoed over and over. Too dumb to ever kick me out. Why waste my money? Not anymore. I was done playing the fool. She strolled in like she owned the place, stretching her arms dramatically, hair tousled from a good night's sleep. Morning, she yawned, heading straight for the fridge. Damn, I slept like a baby last night. That guest bed's too comfortable. She poured my oat milk into her coffee, humming some mindless pop song like she hadn't just torn me apart on camera. I smiled easy and light. Glad to hear it. She didn't suspect a thing. No clue that I'd seen it all. Heard it all. She leaned against the counter, sipping her coffee like we were roommates and not a ticking time bomb. I took a slow sip of mine and asked, "So what's your plan this month?" She paused, confused. "What do you mean?" "Oh, you know," I said, shrugging. "You've been here a while. Figured you might be thinking about next steps. Maybe looking for your own place." She groaned like I'd asked her to carry a boulder up a hill. "Ugh, Ratch, I have so much on my plate right now. Moving's the last thing I need. Plus, it's so expensive out there." Expensive? I fought the urge to laugh. She could afford it. She just didn't want to. "I get that," I said, keeping my tone casual. "But I've been thinking. Maybe it's time for some changes around here." She didn't even look up from her phone. "What kind of changes?" I let the silence hang in the air just long enough to make her uncomfortable. Then I said it. Still calm. Still cool. "Starting next month, I think it makes sense for you to start paying rent." She froze, then laughed. That same breathy, dismissive laugh I'd heard on the video. "Wait, are you serious?" I nodded. "Yeah. I mean, you've been here 3 years, Chloe. Rent-free. I figured it was time." Her face twisted like I'd betrayed her. "Come on, Rachel. We're family. You really expect me to pay rent?" I held my coffee cup just beneath my lips, eyes steady. "Yes." She leaned back, arms crossed, expression flipping between disbelief and amusement. "Wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting you to pull something like this." "Pull something like this?" I almost laughed. She'd been living in my home for 3 years free. No rent, no bills, no groceries. Just my kindness and blind loyalty. Now I was the bad guy? I gave a small chuckle, still playing it calm. "It's not a big deal, Chloe. Just basic rent. Nothing crazy. I thought $1,200 a month would be fair." Her jaw dropped. Coffee cup frozen in midair. $1,200? Are you insane? Her voice pitched up like I'd asked her to donate a kidney. I raised an eyebrow. "That's actually below market rate for this area. You're getting a steal, honestly." She slammed her cup down, coffee splashing over the rim. "Are you seriously doing this to me? After everything?" I rinsed my mug at the sink, calm as ever. "Everything? Chloe, I let you live here 3 years. No rent, no bills. I figured it was time you chipped in." Her arms folded tighter, her jaw set. "We're family. You really expect me to pay rent like some random tenant?" I turned to face her, drying my hands on a towel. "Yes." That one word cut sharper than anything else. She leaned back, lips parted like she couldn't believe what she was hearing. "I just can't believe you're doing this. Like I'm some burden." I stayed calm, even, unshakable. "It's not personal. It's just time, Chloe. You've got a job. You make good money. There's no reason you shouldn't be contributing." She scoffed, voice rising again. "You don't even need the money, Rachel." There it was. The core of her entitlement. She didn't think she owed me anything. I smiled, slow and steady. "It's not about whether I need it. It's about fairness." She let out a bitter laugh. "Fairness? Oh my God. You're unbelievable." I nodded. Dead serious. The first of the month rolled in quiet, but Chloe didn't. She strolled into the kitchen like it was any other day. No tension in her shoulders. No acknowledgement of our last conversation. Just her usual smug energy. She poured herself coffee, grabbed one of my protein bars, flopped onto the couch with her phone, relaxed, smug. She thought I'd back down. She thought my rent talk was just a bluff, that she'd outlasted me. She was wrong. At exactly 9 a.m. her phone buzzed. I watched from across the room as her brow furrowed. She tapped the screen, scrolled, and then, "What the hell?" She sat up straight and turned the phone toward me. "Rachel, I just got an email from some rental management company. What is this?" I set my coffee down with care, as calm as ever. "That's your lease agreement." She blinked. My what? Lease agreement. I repeated like it was the most normal thing in the world. Since you said you weren't paying rent, I decided to formalize everything. That email is your rental contract with the property management company I hired. Her mouth dropped open. She scrolled frantically. This says my first rent payment's due today. I leaned back. Correct. I figured it was time to make things official. She let out a harsh laugh, bitter, shocked, rattled. Oh my God. You're insane. No, Chloe, I said, calm and direct. I'm just done being taken advantage of. That landed. Her laughter faded. I could see the cracks forming, the confidence slipping, the panic rising behind her eyes. She shifted tactics. Pressing a hand to her chest, she softened her tone, voice suddenly low and wounded. Come on, Rachel. You're my sister. I thought we were supposed to support each other. I didn't move. Didn't blink. We are. And for 3 years I supported you completely, without asking for a thing in return. She swallowed hard, eyes darting. But I wasn't expecting this. You never gave me a warning. I let out a soft laugh. I gave you a full month's notice, Chloe. That's more than fair. Her face twisted. I don't have the money for this right now. I tilted my head. That's interesting. Because last week, I heard you on the phone bragging about buying VIP tickets to that music festival next month. Color drained from her face. Her mouth opened and nothing came out. Gotcha. I leaned forward slightly, tone flat and final. So you have the money. You just don't want to pay me. She stammered, trying to recover. That's not. I raised a hand, cutting her off. Look, you've got 2 options. You can sign the lease and start paying rent like a normal adult, or you can move out. Simple. Her jaw clenched. She was seething, but she could see it in my eyes. I wasn't bluffing. And if I don't do either, she hissed. I smiled, calm and steady. Then, as per the lease terms, you'll get a 14-day notice to vacate. And if you still don't leave, I'll file for eviction. Her eyes widened. Eviction. She spat the word like it was poison. You'd actually do that to me? I would, I said simply. Because you did this to yourself. She jumped up, pacing, muttering under her breath. I cannot believe you're doing this. I picked up my coffee again, voice light and cheerful. Believe it. And if you don't pay by the end of the day, that 14-day notice goes out tomorrow morning. She stared at me like I'd slapped her. She had nowhere to run now. She didn't come home that night. Or the next. Or the one after that. Classic Chloe. Run from the mess. Hope it magically disappears. But it wasn't going anywhere this time. I wasn't her safety net anymore. I was her landlord now. And I was ready. 3 days later, just before midnight, I heard the front door creak open. I was on the couch, pretending to work on my laptop. But I'd been waiting. She stepped in. Heels kicked off hard against the wall. Hair messy like she hadn't slept. Purse slung low on her shoulder. Her eyes met mine across the room. Fury simmering behind her exhaustion. She dropped her purse on the counter with a thud. We need to talk, she said, voice tight. I closed my laptop slowly and leaned back. I'm listening. She folded her arms, glaring. You really filed the paperwork? Yes. She shook her head, laughing bitterly. Jesus, Rachel. You're seriously evicting me. I met her gaze. No, Chloe. I gave you options. You just didn't like them. She stepped closer, voice rising. I was gone for 3 days. You didn't even try to talk to me before doing this. I tilted my head, steady as ever. Funny. I seem to remember you walking out mid-conversation. Her hands clenched into fists. She was unraveling and she knew it. You don't get it. I was figuring things out. Figuring things out? I repeated, smirking. Like how to keep living here for free. She flushed bright red. Tried to argue. Then stopped. Because she had no comeback. She sighed. Shoulders sagging. Voice softer now. Look. I messed up, okay? I shouldn't have said what I said. I was just venting. I didn't mean it. Yes, you did. Her voice faltered. No, You called me an idiot, Chloe. You laughed about how I was too dumb to kick you out. You bragged about playing me for a fool. She looked away. Swallowed hard. I heard it, I continued. I watched you say it. So did Uncle Mike. Her head snapped up. You told him. I let out a dry chuckle. He told me. She was stunned, speechless, exposed. Chloe exhaled sharply and began pacing again, her voice trailing behind her like a mess she couldn't clean up fast enough. Okay, I get it. I screwed up. I stayed silent. Watched her unravel. Watched her eyes dart to the floor, to the ceiling, to anywhere but me. She stopped and faced me. There was something new in her voice now, desperation. I don't have anywhere to go, Rachel. I didn't blink. I'd heard it before. 100 times. This time I came prepared. I opened my laptop, tapped a few keys, and pulled up a neatly bookmarked folder. Actually, I said, tilting the screen toward her. That's not true. She frowned. What? I took the liberty of looking into a few affordable apartments nearby, I said, flipping through listings. All within 10 miles. All within your budget. Her eyes narrowed. She could tell I wasn't bluffing. I even spoke to one of the landlords. He's willing to waive the security deposit if you apply this week. Her jaw clenched. I can't believe you did that behind my back. I shrugged, cool and collected. Why wouldn't I? You've got a job, right? You make good money. You said so yourself. She scoffed, shaking her head. You're actually enjoying this, aren't you? I met her gaze. No, Chloe. I'm just done being used. She stormed off down the hallway, slamming her bedroom door. But we both knew it. She was out of moves. The next day, Chloe was quiet. No sarcastic jabs. No slamming cabinets. Just silence. As she packed, I caught glimpses of her hauling boxes, folding clothes, stuffing her life into a suitcase. She didn't look at me. Didn't say a word. And that was fine. She'd spent years treating me like a doormat. Now she was facing the consequences. And for the first time, they weren't mine to carry. That night, I found her in the living room, sitting beside a half-empty suitcase, just staring at nothing. She looked small, deflated. None of the smugness. None of the bite. Just, Chloe, stripped bare. I hesitated in the doorway, then walked in and sat across from her. The air was thick with everything unspoken. Chloe, I said softly. She looked up, her eyes dull and tired. What? I studied her face, the tension in her shoulders, the way her hands trembled slightly in her lap. I don't hate you, I said quietly. She scoffed, voice bitter. Could have fooled me. I sighed, leaned forward. I just wish things had been different. She looked down, tracing a seam in her jeans with her finger. Yeah, she muttered. Me too. The silence stretched between us, heavy with years of love and resentment tangled like thread. Finally I said, You know I didn't do this to hurt you. Her jaw tightened. It still feels like you did. I nodded slowly, letting that land. Maybe. But think about it, Chloe. If I hadn't stopped this now, when would you have left? She didn't respond. Didn't need to. We both knew the answer. She'd never planned to leave. Because I made it too easy. If Uncle Mike hadn't sent that video, I'd still be the fool in her game. She exhaled, rubbing her temples. I don't know, okay? Her voice cracked. I got comfortable. I let that sit. Then I said, You're smart, Chloe. You're capable. You've had the means to take care of yourself for a long time. So why didn't you? She swallowed, eyes darting away. And then finally she said it. Because it was easy. Barely above a whisper. You always made it easy. I leaned back and nodded. And that's exactly why I had to stop. She stared at me for a long moment. Then quietly she laughed. A soft, surprised sound that almost felt human again. Guess I can't call you an idiot anymore. I smirked. No, you really can't. And just like that, for the first time in years, we sat in the same room without lies, without manipulation. Just two sisters. Raw. Real. It wasn't healing, not yet. But it was honest. And that was enough. The next morning she was gone. No dramatic exit. No final monologue. Just a packed suitcase. A closed bedroom door. And a text an hour later. I'm out. Good luck, Ratch. I stared at it for a moment, then locked my phone. I wasn't angry. I wasn't relieved. I was just done. The house already felt lighter. Like it was mine again. She was on her own now. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what she needed. A week passed. No slamming doors. No passive-aggressive sighs. No disappearing groceries. Just quiet. For the first time in years, I walked through my own home and didn't feel like a guest in it. The silence didn't feel empty, it felt earned. I moved through the room slowly, barefoot on hardwood floors, breathing in the stillness. The house felt different. Like it had been holding its breath for 3 years and was finally allowed to exhale. It was mine again. I rearranged the living room, donated the extra dishes she never washed, changed the Wi-Fi password. Little things, but they felt like revolutions. I was curled up with a glass of wine one evening, legs tucked beneath me, the soft hum of jazz in the background, when there was a knock at the door. I didn't flinch, didn't freeze, just stood up calm and opened it. Uncle Mike stood there, hands in his jacket pockets, a knowing smile on his face. "Well," he asked, eyes twinkling. "How's it feel?" I smiled, leaning against the doorway. "Peaceful." He chuckled, stepping inside and glancing around the room like he was taking inventory. "Looks better already." I laughed, following him in. "I think so too." He turned, expression softening. "I know that wasn't easy, kid, but you did the right thing." I sighed, folding my arms. "Then why does it still feel weird?" He tilted his head. His eyes were the same kind and steady they'd always been. "Because she's your sister." I nodded, letting that truth settle. "Yeah, she's my sister." He stepped closer, resting a warm hand on my shoulder. "But that doesn't mean she was good for you. And it damn sure doesn't mean you had to keep letting her use you." I looked down, the weight of his words hitting deeper than expected. "You think she'll be okay?" He let out a slow breath, eyes thoughtful. "She'll have to be." He was right. She would have to be. Chloe had spent her adult life leaning on people, on me, dodging accountability and skating by on charm and guilt. But not anymore. I had drawn the line, and now she had to figure it out. That night, I sat on the couch with the same glass of wine, only now I was staring out the window at the quiet street beyond. The stillness wrapped around me like a blanket. Not cold, not lonely, just real. I'd spent years giving and giving, thinking that made me a good sister, a good person. But giving without boundaries isn't kindness. It's self-erasure. Chloe had laughed about playing me, bragged about how dumb I was. But she didn't understand something crucial. I was only dumb until I stopped being convenient. She underestimated me, thought I'd never push back. And now, she was out there, figuring things out, probably spinning the story, painting herself as the victim. But that didn't matter anymore, because I wasn't the villain, and I wasn't the fool. I was just done. Done begging for respect I should have had all along. Done letting someone stay who didn't even pretend to appreciate the space I gave. Done playing the big sister role while getting stabbed in the back. I took another sip, the wine smooth on my tongue. The house was quiet, except for my breathing, and it was beautiful. For the first time in years, I wasn't holding my breath. I wasn't waiting for the next emotional ambush. I wasn't walking on eggshells in my own home. I was just me, in my space, on my terms, and I was finally free. Weeks passed. No more texts from Chloe. No calls. Just silence. And I didn't chase it. Didn't reach out. Didn't try to fix anything. For once in my life, I wasn't scrambling to patch things up or make someone else comfortable at the expense of myself. I'd said my piece. I'd drawn my line, and I stood by it. There was no guilt, no second-guessing, no late-night regret, just clarity. She had made her choices, and now she was finally living with them. I walked by her old room once, now clean, fresh sheets on the bed, a small plant by the window. Felt like a new space, like a symbol of everything I'd reclaimed. My peace, my time, my home, myself. People like Chloe don't change because you give them second chances. They change when you stop offering them. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need a dramatic ending. I just needed distance, and I gave it to myself. The version of me that let it slide. That bent over backward for her. That stayed quiet to avoid conflict. She's gone. I've learned that love without boundaries isn't love. It's enabling. And forgiveness doesn't always mean letting someone back in. Sometimes it just means closing the door without slamming it. So no, I don't hate my sister. I just don't owe her access to me anymore. I don't know where Chloe ended up, and I'm not sure I care. Maybe she's learning. Maybe she's not. That's not my burden to carry anymore. I sip my coffee in the morning and smile at the stillness. I sit in the evenings with music and candlelight and the kind of quiet that doesn't ache. I don't have to explain myself. I don't have to justify drawing a boundary. I don't have to apologize for choosing peace. I'm not bitter. I'm just free. And that finally is enough.